Morning found us both fully immersed into the life of living off our motorcycles. I usually start to get into the groove after about day 3 or so, and it was cool to see that same shift happen to Josh at about the same timeline. It takes a while to fully get away from the scheduled mindset living in the everyday world forces us to have, but trips like this can make it possible from time to time. Today was one of those times. Leisurely, relaxed, and just a genuine moment. It took 15 years to finally be on the road again with my cousin, and I didn't want to have that idea of schedules and time to cloud any of it.
I always like how they freak out when you're trying to hang on to them.
There's nothing good about that.
Oh yeah, that is cool.
Jeez, that's the biggest one I've ever seen.
This is a very pregnant cow.
Mama and a baby.
That one's got a real mean good face.
For me, many times the toughest part about these types of trips is when I finally start sinking into the moment and gelling into life on the road, the end is usually in sight. It's frustrating I'm not better at making endings a good thing, and I admit this trip was one of those struggles. The clock was catching up to us, and the day had come to finally head back into the direction of the worlds we created for ourselves, and I felt a weight in my heart because of it. Too many times I've fallen for the idea that next time is a bankable commodity, and I've used that currency to hold off on following through on many important bucket list plans, especially with the people I love. I've had too many special people, moments, and experiences slip away unresolved in my life, under the excuse of being too busy or burdened to pursue at that moment. I sacrificed a lot to finally realize life's big lesson is all about gaining a deathbed look at life, but hopefully without the deathbed. I vowed to do my best to shelve my excuses as well as become fully present in the moments I do have and cherish them to the best of my ability. Passing that lesson on is the main reason why I make these videos, to potentially share that idea and my experiences with you with the hopes they'll give you what they gave me. A degree of fulfillment, and something we both can take along with us on our respective twisted journeys. As we began to leave the area and past the youth camp where my stepfather would go once a year to teach kids about the wonders of nature, I had to give one last thankful wave to the place that opened up so many doors for me in my personal journey. I also wanted to make one last stop at the viewpoint where we saw the elk yesterday afternoon and see what else was there this time around, as there's always something. Plus, I wanted to commemorate the trip with a photo before heading out for good. This was a special day and trip, and one I'll remember for the rest of my life. It was time to leave the area for good and head out on the day's long ride, crossing about a third of the state. One last look into one of my favorite places in the world. Hopefully, it'll still be here next time I make it over this way. Back in 2015 was one of the Pacific Northwest's worst fire seasons, burning over 1 million acres in Oregon alone. This area was unfortunately not immune to those fires, with half of the wilderness and surrounding area being leveled in just a matter of days. 48 homes were destroyed, with over 33,000 acres being lost in just a matter of hours. It seems like big fires like these are the subject of way too many conversations anymore. Way out of the area, I noticed all of my GoPros decided they were done working for some reason. Again, the camera curse Josh and I seem to experience when we get together for a trip was still present. We pulled over and I did my best to make sense of the situation.
Its battery's dead too. Yeah, see, I clicked it off and now it says it's up high.
Finally, after going through 2 GoPros and 3 batteries, I stumbled across a combo that decided to work.
Alright.
We hit the main highway and bisected through the remains of the fire's devastation one last time. Even after 10 years, the impacts are incredible to see firsthand. Once out of the affected area, it was time to make our run back into Central Oregon for food, fuel, and one last campsite. Quick stop for yet another GoPro issue. And back on the road again. Through some big country. Past an old stagecoach stop. And through the geographic center of the state. Passing by one of my favorite rock outcrops. And by the old school building.
Sorry there, Doodley was obviously confused at the four-way.
No, it was fine. No, it was perfect. I was, when you pulling in here in the first, I was like, you better be going to the shade side, because I'm going to the shade side.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, I wasn't gonna pull over there.
Yeah, I'm glad it finally got below 98.
Yeah, tolerable.
I was like, oh, my brain was cooking.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Yeah, I'd probably put half a gallon on the ground because this thing seems to only have full throttle or nothing on the pump.
Your guys' cross-country maps you get to show you all the little towns and all the bullshit in the backwoods you guys do. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Sure.
Do you know where you get those? The books that show the trails, all the little towns?
Sure, yeah.
Do you know where you get those? You know, 'cause I had a guy ask me today, and he says normally they go through the Chamber of Commerce or some shit will have them.
Yeah.
But my chamber's closed today, so I just wondered if maybe like Mart, like my sporting goods would have them.
Yeah, Mart. Sometimes the ranger station has them.
Okay.
There's a lot of stuff online. There's a couple of user groups. If anybody's on Facebook, Pacific Northwest Dual Sport, it's a really good resource. There's a whole bunch of stuff, but I would do ranger station, Mart, and then kind of fan out from there. And if you have any online, there's a lot of stuff.
Okay, yeah, I got asked that question today, and it's like I've never been asked that before.
No, for sure.
You know, so anyway, yeah, so at least I know. So
Yeah.
I'm asked again, I know it's coming.
Well, it's the season.
Right on. Thank you.
Yeah. Have a good one.
Not necessarily my best explanation, but my brain was a bit fried at the time. Oh well.
Trees are on the wrong side of the parking spots.
I know, I was thinking that.
Looking for somewhere with shade, but
I know, I was looking.
isn't any unless you see something.
No, I wasn't. I was looking as well.
Yep, that's the old one.
I'm sure you experienced the same thing. We were definitely noticed in town, and more people were asking where to ride as well as about the new Oregon BDR.
That one has to be okay. Here, grab that. Grab one of those. That is take care of it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, today seems to be a weird day for electronics. Yeah.
It's on picture.
Yeah, that's said. It goes on picture, and then goes on batteries. Oh, it's great. And then it lasts for a minute, then the battery's dead.
Yeah, the wonders of our camera curse never cease to amaze me. After loading up on almost too much food to carry, it was time to find our last camping spot for this trip. I've spent countless nights camping in the Ochagos, but never on the west side of the range, so that was our place to explore for tonight. Once again, I'm always amazed at the serene beauty of this place. getting near the top. This road looks as good as any. Let's see what's down it. It feels like it'll give up a good camping spot for the night.
What do you think?
There's a cabin up the road, it looks like. Just a little way past where we were.
Okay, you want to run up it?
Oh, we don't necessarily need to. I was just going it was just one of those things that at some point would be cool, but
Yeah, we can run up there. I'm totally down with that.
yeah, it doesn't matter. It was just, I thought it was a trailhead, and it just says Divide Cabin
Okay.
and Divide Spring. Like, just up around the corner there.
Yeah, I'll follow you.
This right here is what I love about these trips. Organically finding something cool to check out along the way. I had no idea this cabin we were going to actually existed.
That's super cool. I must be tired. I went to reach to take my goggles off.
From what I've been able to gather, Divide Cabin was built in 1910 and was one of the original U.S. Forest Service cabins built, and one of the very few still remaining. People were living here during the summers as recently as the 1970s, and rumblings of a grassroots restoration project are abundant online, but nothing so far has happened. It's a cool cabin for sure, and reminds me a bit of my old cabin I lived in for 15 years near Tumalo Falls. There's some cool history right here. I like the trough built out of the hollowed log. That's pretty neat, knowing it's been there as long as it has. We decided to head back down the road to the camp spot we had found earlier and settle in there for our last evening and meal together. Sorry, I'm still a pretty attentive rider, always looking around from side to side to see what might be lurking around the next corner. I know that doesn't lend itself to the most cinematic of footage, especially with my older gear.
Just making sure there wasn't anybody else in here somewhere. Yeah. I would say snow or something, but it doesn't look like it's been around for snow, you know?
Yeah. It has It does look like it needs really good.
Oh yeah, it's kind of the perfect spot. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's fairly recent because the
Yeah.
green smells fresh.
Yeah. Like that. Oh. I don't know. Maybe they maybe they need like bathroom and shower room.
Oh, that could be. Kids make it, you know, having fun.
Yeah, that cabin's neat. I said that cabin's neat. Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'll remember that the rest of my life.
One last meal and time for bed. The next morning we packed up and were ready for the trip home. Yeah, I admit this day wasn't my favorite, as my heart once again, just like our last trip, wanted just to keep going. This trip was 15 years in the making, and as it wasn't the craziest of trips as far as off-road difficulty or obstacles met and overcome, it was what it was, and that's what made it perfect. As I mentioned before, I'm learning how precious moments in life with family and friends truly are, because I finally realized eventually they always end, and that's okay. I'm beginning to finally grasp the notion that it's not about the destination, but truly about the journey, so in a sense this trip isn't actually over, just presently at a different stage, like seasons of the year. Our last trip back in 2010 was a life changer for me, and I found the bonus of having footage from that trip available to revisit beyond priceless. I want to encourage all of you to, if you have any interest, to jump in and do something similar for yourself. If you're worried about gear, there are lots of cheap used gear options out there, and if you need to start with just a pair of walking shoes or a tank of gas in your car, then start there. Don't let excuses get in the way of your true journey, whatever it may be. And the sooner you can grasp that concept with your heart and soul, the happier you'll most likely be in the long run. True adventure starts with how you see and interact with the world around you. It's not about gear or destinations. You're the special component in all of this. So get out there and follow your heart. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised with what it'll show you. Thank you so much for tagging along with Josh and I on this trip. Hopefully we'll all be out on the road together again here soon. Until then, take care of yourself, and I'll see you soon. Thanks again.